As a supermodel, singer, songwriter, and former First Lady of France, no one has had a career quite like Carla Bruni. Media reports have cast her as a man-eater, listing a string of relationships with famous men. Bruni has not always supported marriage. "I'm monogamous from time to time, but I prefer polygamy and polyandry," she told the Figaro Madame magazine. We will get into all that later in the video, but Carla Bruni is most known for her wonderful modeling career. Over the course of the decade, Bruni appeared on more than 250 magazine covers. She walked the runways of the most famous designers and is a living legend in the industry. Aristocratic and affluent in both the entertainment industry as well as in the political world and wealthy social circles. We will do a model profile for her as well, but first, hey friend, welcome to my channel Queen Allude, where we deep dive and break down the most iconic stars through history. If you're not yet subscribed, please be sure to do so, and if you're already subscribed, please turn on your notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now let's get into this video. So what is Carla's origin story? Before we get into everything, let's start from the beginning, her childhood. Carla entered this world on a cold winter day, December 23rd, 1968, in the beautiful city of Turin, Italy. She was born into a family that had more than a few pennies to their name. Thanks to the booming CEAT tire business they owned, they were loaded with money and affluence. Her kin were not just rich, but they were also pretty serious about music. Her dad and granddad loved to create their own melodies, and her mom could tickle the ivories like a pro concert pianist. With such a musical backdrop, it was no shocker when little Carla started strumming away on her guitar as a young schoolgirl. She remained loyal to her six strings, even when she sashayed down the glamorous runways later in life. However, her childhood wasn't all roses and rainbows. The fearful and notorious Marxist group hunted Italy during the early 70s. They were kidnapping wealthy people and holding them for ransom. The family's wealth painted a big fat target on their backs, prompting them to pack up and relocate to France. Carla, who could effortlessly switch her dialect between Italian, French, and English, was packed off to a posh finishing school in Switzerland. After that, it was back to Paris for her, as she immersed herself in art and architecture. However, her academic journey hit an unexpected speed bump when an ex-boyfriend's sister suggested that Carla's stunning looks were perfect for the fashion industry. Turns out she hit the nail right on the head. Let's get into her modeling career. In 1987, when she was just a 19-year-old fresh face, Carla Bruni got her big break. She signed up with City Models and soon caught the eye of Paul Marciano, the big cheese at Guess Inc. He spotted her photo in a stack of aspiring model cards and knew he'd struck gold. He chose her to be the face of Guess jeans, and boy, did she make those jeans. Her stunning beauty didn't take long to capture everyone's attention. Glossy magazine covers like Vogue and Elle started featuring her, and it wasn't long before she became the talk of the town. The fashion world was smitten with Carla. Big-name designers and luxury fashion houses couldn't wait to work with her. Christian Dior, Givenchy, Prada, Christian Lacroix, Karl Lagerfeld, John Galliano, Yves Saint Laurent, Chanel, Versace, they all wanted a piece of the Bruni magic. By the time the 90s rolled around, Carla was sitting pretty among the top 20 highest paid supermodels worldwide. At the peak of her career, she was making a cool $7.5 million a year. In 2008, a bare photograph of Carla from her modeling days was auctioned off for a whopping $91,000, over 60 times its expected price. And in 1999, Carla even became the canvas for Joan Guerre, a renowned body painting artist. Her face obviously got her to where she is, right? Just stunning woman. So we're gonna do a model profile for her where we're gonna break down her beauty, makeup, skincare, diet, fitness, and her fashion before we get into the juicier details of her life. Let's start first with her beauty and skincare. Bruni's porcelain skin, slender frame, and feline gaze helped make her one of the world's most successful models in the 1990s. She loved detox masks and steam baths to open up her pores. To relax, she adds essential oils such as lavender and arnica, which is ideal for soothing sore and tired muscles. She hates dryness on the skin, and she told Into the Gloss, and I quote, "I have sensitive skin, so what I like is facial massage. It gives you a real glow. It gets rid of puffiness, dryness, and it brings oxygen to your skin. My personal massage therapist lives in Paris, and at the end of the night, I take a hot bath with some nice perfume or oil. Lavender I love, as well as santal and musk. I try to put a little essential oil and put a little arnica and relax, and maybe have a cold beer in my bath," end quote. She loves a good hydrating moisturizer. She uses less makeup these days and avoid peach tones on the skin. She also encourages the use of blotting powder to avoid a shiny T-zone. Now, in terms of her diet, these days Bruni enjoys a balanced diet with some fasting thrown in. She said, "I don't have a particular diet. I still eat gluten. I still eat meat. I do try to eat in small portions. I like to have avocado, a little bread, and black coffee. But before I have breakfast, I drink a lot of hot water to wake up my metabolism slowly." Carla Bruni has admitted she makes unspeakable efforts to maintain her good looks. She revealed she works out for 2 hours a day and practices a strict regimen in order to stay thin. Reflecting on her early years, the model said she felt she was tall and lanky and felt invisible. She talked about going through a late puberty, which made her appreciate the looks she got on the beach as a 17-year-old. She admitted she likes to seduce and please people, but without a sexual aim, and said pleasing others was more interesting than beauty, which fades with age. Bruni stated, "I do Pilates, ballet, yoga. When I was younger, I would just sit around smoking and eating McDonald's," end quote. Now, in terms of fashion, she told The Guardian, "I've always needed my clothes to feel feminine since I'm not all the androgynous type. When I was young, I admired Jane Birkin, which I did a video for, and Audrey Hepburn, which I did a video for also. They are always the icons of us flat-breasted girls because they are so sexy even without breasts. Through modeling, I learned how to use my body. I don't think anyone can teach you to have style. Either you have it or you don't. I've never really had it. The modeling made me realize that you can't buy style. It's something personal and private. The total head-to-toe designer look is ridiculous. It's the opposite of fashion. A matching bag and shoe and hat makes you look like a Christmas tree. And I would never wear shoulder pads or pointy shoes, or skinny jeans or low-waisted trousers. You take away the hips and waist the best bits." Her favorite designer is Yves Saint Laurent, and she told The Guardian, and I quote, "I love fashion though. I love designers. I love Yves Saint Laurent. He was the first to mix up black and blue. He was the first to mix up red and pink. It was just not done. He had a wonderful garden in Morocco full of red and pink roses, and he said to himself, nature does it and so can I. And he put red dresses with pink belts. It was a fashion mistake before he tried it. People believed the colors would kill each other, but the way he used it was so beautiful and ageless. When I did my last show for Yves Saint Laurent, I asked him to give me a couture dress instead of payment." She is a student of fashion and has always shown great appreciation for designers, and she continued by telling The Guardian, "I also love crazy designers like Gaultier. When I saw his couture, it was like breathtaking. I was awakened by it, and I used to love doing Thierry Mugler's shows. They were crazy. Diana Ross, which I did a video for, would be there, and everyone would be dressed in vanilla leather. And for some reason, just the ambiance, I suppose, we would all go wild. The woman he designed for was very strong and sexy and bossy, and we all became her when we modeled the clothes. I love John Galliano too for the universe he brings to his designs. When you walked in for a fitting, he explained for hours where the dress was coming from." Now, we know every model tends to have a similar story with how they dealt with hardcore substances. So supermodel Carla Bruni used to survive on a diet of 40 cans of Coca-Cola and throat lozenges because she was addicted to sugar. She said at one point her habit got so bad she skipped proper meals for a sucrose hit. Carla added she then discovered cigarettes, booze, and substances. She told the podcast Counter Addictions, "I must have drunk, 30 or 40 cans of Coca-Colas a day. I didn't eat a normal meal. I only ate Pulmol lozenges, 5 boxes. I suffered from every addiction. I began with sugar, a big fan of sugar, big shots of sugar, but her sugar addiction then gave way to tobacco, then alcohol, and substances. I came to tobacco around the age of 14 to 15, and then alcohol. I have taken few drugs because I don't like to turn myself upside down." Saying she no longer drinks and rarely smokes, Carla added, "If I drink, I have to tell people everything I think," end quote. Let's dive into the spicy love life of Carla Bruni, a supermodel whose romantic escapades were as head-turning as her catwalk strut. Her heart was claimed by a star-studded roster of men that included deep-thinking French philosopher Jean-Paul Enthoven, Hollywood hunk Kevin Costner, and rockin' legends Eric Clapton and Mick Jagger, and more. While involved in a relationship with Jean-Paul Enthoven, it was rumored that she began dating his younger son, Raphael, a rising French intellectual, about a decade younger than she was. Bruni claims that she only went out with Jean-Paul a few times and was never his lover, and that Raphael was already divorcing his wife when she encountered him months after last seeing Jean-Paul. Bruni wasn't shy about her love life either. She cheekily admitted in one of her songs to having a whopping 30 lovers. In a candid chat with the newspaper Le Figaro, she confessed that she found monogamy a snooze fest and that the spark of desire usually fizzled out in 2 to 3 weeks for her. She got bored pretty easily and had commitment issues, so she even had to go to therapy for her commitment issues, which is why her later marriage lasted so long. So she really had trouble with that. Then came November 2007, and with it, a dinner party that would change her life. That's where she met Nicolas Sarkozy, the French president who had recently become single again. A month later, they were spotted together at Disneyland near Paris, setting the gossip mills on fire across Europe. The unlikely duo, Sarkozy with his conservative leanings and Bruni with her far-left views, became the talk of the town. Their high-profile romance even helped Sarkozy score some major brownie points in the May 2007 elections. After a whirlwind courtship that had everyone on the edge of their seat, Bruni and Sarkozy tied the knot on February 2nd, 2008. The supermodel was now officially Carla Bruni Sarkozy, marking a new chapter in her life. He did recently get into some legal troubles for corruption in France, but they have been together for so long that Carla claimed their relationship is her greatest accomplishment, especially because she had to go to therapy for her commitment issues. Now let's get into her musical career. Carla Bruni, the savvy supermodel, knew how to make a graceful exit from the catwalk. In 1998, she reportedly raked in a whopping $7.5 million from her modeling gigs before deciding to hang up her stilettos. But Carla wasn't one to sit idle. She dove headfirst into music, taking singing lessons and trying her hand at songwriting. In October 2002, she launched her debut album. Her record label Naive didn't really believe in her musical dreams. And when they tried to promote her album, they were met with mockery from the music critics. But Carla had the last laugh. The French public fell in love with her soulful, folksy tunes. Within weeks of its release, her album skyrocketed to the top 20 on the French charts. It turned out to be one of the few albums that year to sell over 1 million copies, despite the overall decline in album sales. Not just in France, her music also won hearts across Europe and Canada, especially among French-speaking communities. And sometimes bad press can be a blessing in disguise. And for Carla, it seemed to work wonders because people were more interested in her music for all the bad press. They wanted to see what was all the hoopla. Carla's creative process is charmingly old school. She takes her sweet time crafting her songs, writing each one by hand in special notebooks. "I use pen and paper like it's the Middle Ages," she says. And according to her, using a computer erases the journey of a song's creation, leaving only the final product. But with pen and paper, you get to see all the different versions and the evolution of a song. And even as she basks in her musical success, as one of the original supermodels, fashion will always be a part of her life. Today, she's an inspiration for young models like Bella Hadid, who quite literally stole Carla's whole face. They look so much alike and they make the headlines a lot for looking so much alike, right? She enjoys this connection with the new generation and believes it adds a meaning to her past work, right? Her experience in fashion also shapes her stage presence, even though she's not one for showy performances. She has released several albums since her debut and through her music career. She aims to bring warmth and comfort to listeners, especially during tough times. She said, "I hope when people listen, they feel cuddly and on holiday," she says. "I hope they feel warm. Music is even more important now that we're going through hard times, but I'm optimistic," end quote.
I've played all my cards, and that's what you've done too. Winner takes it all. The loser standing small, it's her destiny.
If you watched till this point, please leave a star in the comment section so I know that you're a real one. And don't forget to thumbs up this video and comment who else would you guys like to see next. But this is all I have for this video. She is so beautiful. Bella Hadid was named as one of the most beautiful women in the world, or the most beautiful woman, you know, according to European standards. And I'm guessing if you think Bella Hadid was pretty, is the most beautiful woman according to European standards, then we would say Carla Bruni was the original, right? So she definitely would be considered as the most beautiful woman in the world according to the standards of today. Comment below your thoughts on that. What do you guys think? And don't forget to leave a star in the comment section. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. And if you like the music you're listening to, the link is in the description. Until next time.